seed from China, Chen Yufei. Here's how it all fits into the women's singles draw. This is the bottom half we're showing you. And that top match with a possible quarter-final, an all-Chinese quarter-final looming between Chen Yufei and Han Yue. See if that transpires. Wang Ziyi also in that half. Just the one previous meeting between these two women, and it was actually here in Jakarta in the Indonesia Open 2 years ago. It's a round of 32 match then, rather than a round of 16 as it is today, and Chen Yufei won comfortably. There you see it, straight games. Took just 40 minutes on that occasion.
Black. Red color for you. It's black. On my right side, what do you choose? Receive, you will serve.
Chen Yufei calling for the change of ends on the coin toss. It was a very quick choice and decision. Clearly a strategy for her here.
Nidaira actually at her highest ever world ranking. She's 17 in the world. There you see it. 26 years of age now. She's been playing a long time. Won a World Junior Championship bronze a decade ago. Just the one World Tour victory. That was the US Open last year. It's a Super 300 event in Texas. Made the quarters in Singapore last week. Quarterfinals at the Asian Championships too, and wasn't really bothered by Lin in the last round, although a couple of close-ish games, but through in straights. Up against one of the greatest women to have ever played the game. Olympic champion 2020. She's already won 3 tournaments this year, including the Singapore Open on Sunday, and on a 24-match unbeaten run. And she's won this tournament here in Jakarta for the last 2 years. Choiki Wong was dispatched in barely half an hour in the first round, and you've got to think, Bobby, that Natsuki Nidaira has it all to do. That's probably an understatement.
Yeah, she is very clearly the underdog here. I mean, she's, you know what you're going to get from Nidaira. She's hard-working, she'll play to the end, she'll never give up. I just don't think she has the class, so to speak, consistency of shot-making to keep up with Chen Yufei, especially over the possibility of 3 games. And yeah, Chen Yufei on such a great run. Now that she's clearly back after that break she had from the Olympic Games. Came back in March to play international competitions again. A slightly slow start, but now, like you said, 24 matches unbeaten. Dispatching An Se Young last week in the quarterfinal of the Singapore Open. She is clearly the woman to beat.
Yeah, of course, she lost to He Bingzhou in the Olympics at the quarterfinal stage, and then took some time out. She went to Australia. And there was some doubt at that time whether she actually would come back and play professional badminton, but clearly it's been the right decision. And she can't meet An Se Young again until the final here in Jakarta, and I think the smart money probably is on those two clashing on Sunday afternoon. But first point of business for Chen is Natsuki Nidaira.
Yeah, you mentioned Bei Wenjiang there for Chen Yufei's opposition. It was Bei Wenjiang that Nidaira beat in the US Open final. You and I were there last year as well. It was pretty close, and it just testament to how Nidaira will fight to the death, so to speak.
Chen Yufei, China. And on my left, Natsuki Nidaira, Japan. Chen Yufei to serve. Level. Play.
Interesting the reception that Chen Yufei's had pretty much everywhere since she came back. I think it's actually a measure of how much badminton fans missed her. Actually delighted to have her back on the tour.
I don't think An Se-young would agree with you there.
Probably not.
Quite a lot of heavy strapping on the left leg of Nidaira. Chen Yufei herself is wearing some kind of support on the right thigh. You can just see the top of the white underneath the shorts, but Nidaira's looks pretty heavy duty. Moving quite freely though, so hopefully it's not going to cause an issue.
Well, it is a punishing schedule, isn't it, the World Tour? I mean, we're just about halfway through the year now. Not quite halfway through the year. And still some massive events to come. The World Championships, obviously, in August. World Tour finals in December. That's dropped in. So Nidaira's on the board. But it just shows that the level of fitness and keeping yourself healthy is kind of almost as important as how good you are technically in the sport.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Punishing is the right word, especially the last few months. There's been so many World Tour events and fairly high-level World Tour events, 300s up to 1000s. All England to Singapore and Indonesia is a particularly difficult run. And I like, for example, the way An Se-young will take a tournament off. Kunavut Viditsan. I'm looking at his results, for example. We'll see him later. Now world number 1. 4 wins on the bounce, but he's missed a couple of tournaments in the middle of that. And I like that. The commitment to training and health and keeping yourself fit has to be a priority.
Well, tennis players, golfers on the main tours, they don't play every week. It's not possible to play to a high level and keep yourself fit.
It's difficult in this particular sport, especially when there are things to fight for. What a terrific smash down the line. That was deadly accurate. You've got the World Championships coming up. Getting into the top 32 for one, and then a seeded position as a second priority is all important. And for some players that aren't necessarily the very best in the world, they have to keep turning up because the ranking points are so important. And I think that is, in my view, humbly, a bit of a problem in the sport because it is a punishing schedule and it makes it difficult for players to take time off to go home and look after themselves, and also to spend time practicing and training new techniques. If you're on the tour almost every week, how do you do that?
Well, I think a good example, I mean, you look at the World Tour finals this year, literally we finished 2 or 3 days before Christmas. And then you've got a Super 1000 in Malaysia, I think the first week of January pretty much. So there is no respite, is there? It's a nice net from Nidaira, but equally good lift from Chen.
It's easy to see why Chen Yufei is such a threat. She is deadly accurate, consistent. There never seems to be a period where you wouldn't back her. That's a nice finish as well. Even if she goes a couple of points down, we were talking about it yesterday, you still have faith that she'll be unfazed and come back.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be a test of Nidaira's fitness. She's done an inordinate amount of running in that rally alone. And the burden is not going to get any easier as we go through this match.
Good save from the Japanese. And again.
But it's just unrelenting pressure. It's just a series of questions that Chen Yufei asks her opponents throughout a rally. There's no kind of little layoff at all.
No, she's almost, if you could write a textbook on how to play singles and then sort of display it in video formats, you'd probably have Chen Yufei as the example.
Another terrific example of how she exposed Nidaira on one side of the court, created the space, and then thanks very much.
quick word about Chen Yufei's socks, by the way. I was talking about PV Sindhu collecting her socks from the Plymouth Argyle club shop, wasn't I? The green and white. And it looks like Chen Yufei's an Arsenal supporter, Trevor.
8-3.
I actually hadn't noticed that he just brought that up. Let's have a look.
The national team colours of China, I'm sure, have nothing to do with it.
But it's true, isn't it, in the rallies? Basically, you don't get kind of 10 or 15 seconds to relax when you kind of exchange clears. There's none of that when you play Chen Yufei. You have to be on it the whole time.
Yeah, not only that, she very rarely makes a mistake. Her footwork is so consistently accurate,
9-3.
effortless almost. It might not have the sort of poise of an in-prime Ratchnok Intanon necessarily, but she is almost machine-like in the way she just cruises around. It almost looks one pace at times, and that's quite amazing. Well, that's a rare miss.
Serve 4-9.
Yeah, I would say Intanon, as our colleague Jill Clark so wonderfully described, is a balletic. But I think by the same token, Chen Yufei is almost magnetic in the sense that that shuttle hugs the sidelines, and when she plays those lovely net shots, she drags her opponent in. There's just no margin for your opponent to get comfortable, and there are hardly any unforced errors. Nidaira's not played badly here, really, and she's 10-4 down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the difference between An Se-young and Chen Yufei is that An Se-young has got the better defense, and also at times she seems to maintain a shot quality even under pressure, whereas Chen Yufei, it's so consistent, it's relentless, and it's the right shot choice. That's the thing with Chen Yufei. She's been so well honed as a player that she very rarely makes the wrong decision. And that's what makes her so hard to beat. And look at that. She had the chance to play net, and she pushed it just a few inches over towards the sideline just to get that extra bit of pressure on her opponent. There you go, and then the brilliant finish.
And she's hardly had to break sweat. End of the first half of the opening game, and Chen Yufei in complete control. 11-5, the number 5 seed leads.
Part 1, 20 seconds. Part 1, 20 seconds. Eleven, 5. Play.
So can Nidaira do anything to quell this seemingly unstoppable tide of Chen Yufei winners?
Well, I think that is a question that many people would want the answer to, and at the moment it doesn't look like it.
5.
Just relentless. Another fantastic shot, and there wasn't much room between Nidaira and the sideline. Doesn't matter.
And you know Chen Yufei's in form because also, yes, the drop shot was fairly decent quality, but it was the way in which she switched her feet and took that final smash so early to then play with that much accuracy. Just proves that, you know, Chen Yufei really is back.
And she's so concerned about Chen Yufei's power that she's trying to hit the back line, knowing she can't afford to be short, overdoing it, and it's more cheap points for the Chinese.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? When you get a little bit behind, you try and squeeze a bit tighter, be a bit more accurate, go for the lines, hit harder, and then you create more mistakes.
It's a great lift, that, from Chen Yufei. It was a pretty good net from Nidaira. Yeah, that's excellent from the Japanese.
It is. The last two shots she played, the first one really put Chen Yufei on the back foot, and I thought the Chinese did well here to get out of trouble, but that finish was, well, it was accurate. That's the thing. You've got to be accurate against Chen Yufei.
Wrong side of the line that time from Nidaira.
14-6.
The hitting zone against Chen Yufei, if you're playing to the lines, needs to be within 6 inches or even 4 inches, because anything further into court, and Chen Yufei is almost just going to find it too comfortable to then add pressure back on her opponent.
Serve 7-14.
You can see how Nidaira is just on the peg the entire rally. She's just trying to move as quickly as possible at all times. Chen Yufei seems to have time. At one point there, she just stood in the mid-court waiting.
That's the test, isn't it? We say it with so many sports. The best in the world always appear to have more time to play, and she's a great example. Again, not deep enough, and again punished.
It's just perfect at the moment from Chen Yufei. Little deception, pushes the net out wide. Shorter lift, accurate smash. Seems she can do no wrong at the moment.
Thank you. (17-7).
Just a procession of points right now for Chen. You can't really blame Nidaira for getting a little downhearted.
Nidaira must get to a point where she just relaxes and enjoys it, because you can only take your hat off to Chen Yufei the way she's playing this match at the moment.
Thing is, though, in her head, she's kind of thinking, I don't know where the next point's coming from.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. The pressure is on Nidaira that she'll have to try and take an early initiative, but then she needs to play probably 4 or 5 shots with the topmost quality to get the better of Chen Yufei. Yes, you'll see the occasional mistake like that, but that's not going to win her a game. Ooh, that looked fairly close from here.
Yeah, she doesn't use that many challenges, actually, Chen Yufei, you know. Not that it's going to really make any difference in this first game. She's so far ahead, it's effectively won, but that was tight.
They look like they're playing at different speeds, don't they? Nidaira is like in 5th gear, running her heart out, and Chen is just cruising around.
It's almost like Chen's got a remote control device and she's just moving Nidaira wherever she wants her to go. So here are a whole raft of game points, 11 of them. Just needed the one. Well, bloodless first game there. It's only taken a quarter of an hour. 21 points to 9. And you'd honestly say that Nidaira, hard as she tried, might be even slightly flattered by that scoreline. It's all about the Chinese.
Yeah, the best 2 players in the world. In my opinion, yes, the rankings may not say that Chen Yufei is up there, but of course, we all know the story. And they're both on court right now, courts 1 and 3. An Se-young also having a similar performance, and you just have to sit back and admire this.
Natsuki. Part 1, 20 seconds. Part 1, 20 seconds. Second game. Level. Play.
Well, hard to imagine that Chen can play much better than she did in the first game. So, might be the only crumb of comfort here for Nidaira.
Oof. Devastating in attack. I'm interested to see why she was so keen to change ends. It was a clear plan. She won the coin toss, and she was very instantly, yep, I want that end of the court. She's, as we've seen, had a brilliant start to the match, and I just wonder whether she wanted a good start and whether this end will cause Chen just a little bit more of an issue, or whether she might get even better.
Well, that is absolute perfection. So neither of us can speak a word of Japanese. Had you been in Natsuki Nidaira's corner, what would you have said to her during that last game break?
Well, Trevor, that is a fantastic question, to which there is a very difficult answer, because the only thing she's got going for her is a consistency level which she is probably unable to achieve. To get the better of Chen Yufei, you need to hit 3 or 4, maybe even 5 really good shots in a row to win a point. And then the next point, you need to do it again, and again, and again. And if she could do that, she'd be one of the best in the world. And she's not. So, I don't know what to suggest.
So, just keep trying, just do your best, basically. I hope that her level dips. Hope that Chen Yufei's level drops because he can't get much higher.
Well, that is a great suggestion too. Hang in there. You never know what can happen. You know, we've seen a couple of injuries this week, some slips. Chen Yufei might... Wow. Not that she looks like she's going to, but, you know, you might get a bit of complacency from players at times. I've never seen it from Chen Yufei. I don't expect to see it, but you never know. You just got to hang in there, really.
Yeah, complacency is the second thing in her vocabulary, underneath no unforced errors, or very few unforced errors. It's the other thing about Chen Yufei that people don't really talk about. And it's the same with An Se-young, to be fair, is the temperament. It's not just the technique. Unfazed.
Yeah,
concentration levels just off the scale.
Oh, what a brilliant rally again. This is like exhibition stuff. It's just the Chen Yufei show at the moment. Look at this. Lovely little backhand deception.
That was the interesting thing about what happened after the Olympics, is that there was never any doubt that she could come back and be a competitive player. I think the thing was she wanted to come back and enjoy it. And that's what she was deciding, whether that would be the case, another great winner, whether that would be the case or not. And to me, it's classic Chen Yufei that she took, what was it, 3 months she was in Australia, something like that, just to think about it, weigh up all the options. She wanted to improve her English a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I can't deny my picks for the Olympic Games in singles were Chen Yufei and Shi Yuqi, both of which were disappointed with their efforts at the Games, both of which then had doubts about, do I still want to be doing this? She was reigning champion. I thought she'd do it again, and perhaps An Se-young would be the only one to stop her. As it goes, she didn't even make the final, and it must have been a huge disappointment.
Didn't make the semis, did she?
No. Yeah, neither did she in the men's singles, and thankfully for all of us, as fans of the sport, you know, she's recommitted and back to her best, because we've got the world champs coming up. There's this brilliant rivalry now where An Se-young went so many months unbeaten. Chen Yufei now has sort of taken over that mantle for now. An Se-young still world #1 and still beating everybody else but Chen Yufei, and that was just once last week. It just sets up a superb rivalry.
Yeah, that's just gone long. You know that Chen Yufei almost certainly wouldn't have come back if she hadn't had the chance, or in her head at least, the thought of a second potential gold medal in Los Angeles in 3 years' time, because she'll be 30. And that, realistically, will probably be her last chance to get another Olympic gold medal, or medal of any colour, to be honest. And I think, oh, that's right on the line again. I think that's how the thought process has to go. I mean, these women are planning 2, 3, 4 years ahead. It's all about, obviously they want to win world championships and titles, but the Olympic cycle is never far from the forefront of their minds.
Yes, and we know that, and that is one of the key things about the sport being in the Games. And it matters so much, not just to the players, but to the coaching staff, the federations, the sort of the team behind the players and coaches that we see on the tour. The funding typically is all there, and it's all about the Games. And it keeps, well, it provides us with the reason why there's been such a refresh since August, since the Paris Olympic Games. So many pairs in doubles, for example, have been mixed up and changed. You've got players taking a break at that period because the cycle suggests they need to get back for the World Championships and then refocus for the qualification for the Games. It's all about those two. And of course, the World Tour being so important because that affects the rankings. That's where your prize money comes from. The World Tour finals are important.
Just a stunning net. I mean, she apologises because it clipped the tape, but, you know, she's so close to it. She's almost trying to do that. Wonderful touch from Chen Yufei. Yeah, in fact, I'm not sure it did clip the tape much, did it?
It was just a brilliant shot. Holds the backhand straight, dips a wrist and changes the angle. It's just It really is an exhibition right now for Chen. Nidaira doing absolutely nothing wrong here. This has been a good rally from the Japanese, and yet Chen Yufei is just taking it all in her stride.
Well, she's missed it. She did all the hard work. She can't believe it.
Look at the reaction from her too.
She had Nidaira going one way then the other. It's almost like a training regime for a goalkeeper, wasn't it? And then the easiest shot of the rally, she puts into the tram lines. She's human.
Head in hand moment. It's actually quite nice to see. What a leave.
Yeah, that wasn't far beyond the back line, was it?
9-4.
I think Nidaira might have considered a challenge, but in the end,
Wipe
does
the card,
not.
please. Wipe the card, please. Show him.
Chair umpire just asking the man with the mop to come and try the back of the court.
Thank you.
Noise you can hear is because An Se-young's just come through her round of 16 match against Kim Go-eun in 33 minutes. Be a good contest actually this, see who finishes quicker out of her and Chen Yufei.
5-9.
Deadly accurate.
10-5.
Not a great deal wrong with the length of that clear. She's landed in the back tram lines. It's amazing, the scoreline and the way she's playing, and yet I actually feel like she's still got another gear to go into if she needed to.
Well, she hasn't really been asked any questions, has she, by Nidaira? Not tested. That's way long. So 11-5 it is.
11-5. Interval. Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 11-5. Play.
So what we expect to be the denouement here, with Chen country mile clear on the scoreboard. Just enjoying watching her array of shots. Talking of shots, that's a fantastic winner from Natsuki Nidaira, probably the best she's played in the match.
11.
Could not have been more accurate. That was plumb on the line. Yufei just absorbing that attack as if it was easy.
Well, that's what would really be kind of heartbreaker psychologically. Play one of the best shots you're capable of, and Chen Yufei just says, okay, just clears it to the back line. Well, give Nidaira credit, that was brilliant defence. Okay, Chen Yufei should have killed it the third time of asking, but even so.
Yeah, good body positioning, strength in the legs. Look at that one. Oh, didn't see the first one, but... as I said at the start, she'll never give up, Nidaira. She'll fight till the bitter end.
Well, what happened there?
Well, she has used that little backhand net deception a few times. This time, she just got it all wrong. Again, the humanity comes in.
I think she might have been in two minds, actually, and then kind of ended up doing neither of the options she was considering. Well, Nidaira getting a little bit more competitive. That scoreboard becoming a lot more respectable from her point of view.
The reason for me is just for the last few points, it's a little bit of complacency from Chen, which we didn't expect to see, but she's definitely dropped down a focus level, at least, if not a physical level. Oh, great defense. Awesome reaction from Chen Yufei.
She's going to challenge this. It was called out. It's a very quick call, actually, from the line judge, but Nidaira wants Hawkeye to check it.
Surprised if Chen gets this wrong. She was almost at walking pace with the shuttle and the line so close.
It's clipped the line.
Yeah.
It's clipped the line. Great challenge.
Correction. 10, 12.
Follows in so quickly, and yet that little fist bump tells you she could sense that Nidaira was just getting a little bit of confidence and wants to snuff that out, just like that.
I think as Chen Yufei will know, she's so far ahead, if you like. She's almost playing against the scoreboard rather than playing against her opponent, and she's decided, right, that's enough. I don't want to let this get much closer. I need to up my game again here.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right,
again, just a smidgen too much angle from the Japanese.
Good net exchange. Oh, wow. I think that was legal. That is brilliant.
She could do that again, you know, if she tried 100 times. This is astonishing.
It was all but over. Net cord, gets it back, and then...
It was a gesture, wasn't it? She put her racket up as a gesture.
Oh, well, actually, I think Chen Yufei's racket might have been over the net, but at that pace and speed of shot, very difficult for the umpire to have seen.
It's nigh on impossible for the umpire, isn't it? I think.
Either way, what a brilliant reaction.
And now she's reasserting herself. Nidaira
16-10.
just a few minutes away from defeat, surely, here.
Yeah, well, the head dropped slightly after the lift went long, understandably so.
Beautiful shot again.
17-10.
It's just too good from Chen. Look, on the back foot, defending off the back line, and then a simple, great length, the shot quality. She's in the rear court, deep in the rear court. Deadly accurate smash.
Thank you. Serve 11-17.
Oh, I thought she would have played some sort of kill shot then, Nidaira. Good rally from the Japanese. I think Chen Yufei had an opportunity there to take over the rally with an attack about halfway through, and decided to go back to the back line. Good shot, good net shot. That was simple.
Thank you.
Chen Yufei just comfortable, just passively
Serve
moving Nidaira around the court.
12.
I'd love to see some kind of scientific data as to how much effort and court coverage the two players have put in this match, because I would argue that Nidaira has probably worked twice as hard as Chen Yufei.
Well, she's covered way more ground. So just a couple of points required now by the former Olympic champion to confirm her place in the last 8.
Well, we got it bang on, didn't we? Because it was 12-10, and Chen Yufei, we said, right, that's enough. She's going to sort of pull away here, and she's won
7 of the last 9.
Yeah, amazing.
Brilliant.
I can't say it anymore. That just was simply brilliant.
12.
In complete control of the shuttle, her surroundings, the drift, her opponent. Just brilliant.
8 match points for Chen Yufei.
Server 13-20.
Well, that's a tremendous shot from Nidaira.
14-20.
Even though she's facing all these match points, as you said earlier, she's a total 100%er.
Yeah, and Chen Yufei here could move a little faster, could play a little more aggressively. She's got gears to go into, and on this occasion was punished by a terrific shot.
Well, the Indonesia Open trophy has almost become Chen Yufei's personal property in recent times. She's won here for the last 2 years, and in defence of her title, she's into the quarter-final with a near-exhibition performance, taking down Natsuki Nidaira in straight games. Nidaira, to her immense credit, never gave up, but she just wasn't in the same league as the Chinese.
Nidaira played a good match. She should be proud of her performance. There wasn't a lot more she could have done, so credit to her. But it just highlights the gulf in class between Chen Yufei and a solid top 20 ranked player.
21-9, 21-14 in 42 minutes. No one will fancy facing her in the quarter-final. Welcome back to Jakarta, where we've got some youngsters here enjoying the action and some very passionate and partisan crowds.